Hello everyone, welcome to, we got week 4 of NACE Starleague here. We're going to get Indiana Tech versus Ohio State. I believe we're going to be jumping into this pretty quick. We have the lobby ready. Both of these teams looking pretty even. OSU coming in actually 2-1, so 2 wins to 1 loss in NAC right now. Indiana Tech is 2 losses and 1 win. Other than that, OSU is looking pretty good right now. Some star players we're looking at, I believe... Pull that up. We have 6 players on our team, so we got...
I don't know if we know the roster is playing tonight. We'll probably see. I mean,
well,
obviously we'll see
them
it in a
when they
moment.
hop on, but we have the same players as last week. Other than that, Indiana Tech, I haven't seen much of them. Both of us have played Michigan Tech, so it's really the only match we have in common.
And both teams lost.
Yeah, both teams lost to Michigan Tech.
Yeah.
I guess some open discussion questions for you. I'm not going to grade you on this, but
oh gosh,
OSU's been really volatile, just in general, not just in NACE. We also saw a bunch of our teams in Collegiate Rocket League, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of our teams, we start off pretty shaky, and then we kind of get more into it. So that's something that I'm really looking out for, but... If you were in this situation, right, as a team you know is really volatile, what's some things you would do, like, mentally, you know, to get into shape and make sure that you're not dropping a lot of points early on, like OSU tends to do?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's probably about trying to create that match environment as much as you can, right? And, you know, obviously, if you're just starting out today, you're not going to be able to fully hop into fully hop into match and fully understand everything of what's going on and just get yourself in the right mindset, because that is difficult, right? Match time is going to be completely different than what practice time actually does look like for a lot of these players, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, that gets to you. It's all about those nerves. The second you hop into that match, that actually does matter. And so, you know, if you could try to work in you some time, try to get yourself in that game state, or even just take a little bit of a breather beforehand, right, and prep yourself mentally to be ready for that. That can certainly help out. But, I mean, otherwise, in some cases, you're just going to kind of have to sit down and be ready for the match. I mean, it is a best of 5, so you really have to learn how to adjust quickly. And that's one of the things that we'll have to see over the course of the season, is if that gets better over time.
Yeah.
Right? That's one of the largest things, is that, you know, in these seasons that are, like 8 weeks or so in length, 9 weeks or so in length, there's plenty of time to start seeing that maturation process. And that's a lot of the reason why a lot of leagues like this, and especially NACE with their tiered levels of competition, why you see all of those sorts of things come out, because you're able to see that progress happen over time. It's a very conducive environment to those sorts of things.
Definitely, yeah. And with Collegiate, you know, a lot of these teams practicing together all the time, and, you know, getting these players as many opportunities to actually play in these, you know, live matches, these tournaments where there's, you know, prize money and all of this notoriety that's on the line, right? So you want to make a name for your university out here. So it's a lot of pressure. A lot of these players, you know, coming in might not have that experience. So I like the word you use, that mindset, right? Jumping right into it. A lot of these players, you know, have the mechanics. They have the skill. It's all about that mindset. It's so important in Rocket League.
Yeah.
Matches only, you know, you have 5 minutes on the timer. That's so short compared to a lot of other games. FPS, CSGO, and Valorant having 13 rounds plus. And you have so much time to kind of bring stuff back. Rocket League, you lose that, you're out of it. It's instant.
Absolutely. It's so much of that momentum game. And even, you know, not only during the game where it's actually about momentum, it's like, okay, well, the team that's ahead is probably going to keep being ahead, right? Unless something actually does change there. Yeah. But I often see that it's over the course of the series as well, right? Where you're seeing if a game drops game 1, or if a team drops game 1, they're probably not going to be feeling too confident about themselves heading into that game 2. And they've really got to try to readjust that mindset and really have to try to, you know, adopt to that and make sure they're getting settled in, make sure that they're gearing up, and hey, mental reset. All right, we lost game 1, so what? There's plenty more to play for in the next few matches. Looks like we're doing a little bit of a delay, folks, so we do hope to bring you this match here pretty soon. Again, it'll be Ohio State heading up against the Indiana Tech Warriors. My name is Kenneth, joined by Dawson, and we'll be entertaining yourselves. Hope you all have been enjoying your Monday, maybe strapping in for another week, but maybe you got a little bit of a break with Valentine's Day. You do anything special today,
Hopefully
Dawson?
not really. I picked up some stuff at the grocery store before I came in here. I got a candle for myself.
Hey,
got to
you
treat
know what?
myself on Valentine's Day.
Self-treatment.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Self-love.
Self-love. That's the
definitely.
one. Key here. But another thing that's key throughout Ohio State is Buckeye love. You can tell that we are a very tight-knit community around here in Columbus and really across the world as the international community spans so far and wide. We have Buckeyes all over the place in the world. Turns out when you're around for 150 years and you're a kind of large university, you have a lot of people that come through here. I think I saw something like, what was it? I actually don't remember the exact number. Like 50. God, what was that number? Now that's going to bother me. Now that's all I'm going to be thinking about for the rest of this broadcast is how many alumni we have. Because I've seen that number lately. I was trying to look into that, but it doesn't matter. Hopefully we'll have some Rocket League to distract me here very soon. We're hopping into Game 1 shortly between Ohio State and the Indiana Tech Warriors. But all right, enough of those distractions, Dawson.
Yeah.
Back into the mindset, dialed in here for Game 1 as we start loading onto the pitch here.
All right, hopping right into this kickoff. So we have Stu, Dasan, and Queeds on our lineup. A very offensive-based lineup we have here. Just quickly, I know this win condition for OSU is going to be just that aggressive power plays, going to try to keep on the pressure permanently, always have that possession.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're already starting to see a little bit of aggression come out here from Indiana Tech. One of the things we're noticing is that it is very individual-based gameplay. You see a lot of them following up very slowly onto this ball as now Echo Pair is going to try to take a hold of this and take this taken care of. But yeah, I mean, very well done so far. And it looks like there's going to be a bit of an opening here for the Ohio State play.
Yeah, actually kind of a little slow passing play. That mindset definitely coming to play here. Queeds just being really smart and placing that shot right there in the middle where the defense didn't have momentum to get that out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well done there. Good capitalization coming in from Queeds, and we'll have to see a lot here. I think Queeds, one of the players returning on this roster, probably going to be one of those leaders, and so nice to see him step up early, start to set the pace for the rest of the team. Yeah,
Queeds is definitely a player I always look out for. Stu's always really on those passing plays. Dasan really well overall, just in general. This OSU team really plays well together from what I've seen. And a lot of their passing plays, it's kind of hard to connect a lot of stuff when you're not quite all there, but I've seen OSU connect stuff, and then I've seen them also kind of fall out of it. So right now it seems like OSU is really connecting. I want to keep seeing that.
Absolutely are connecting for the time being. As starting to see a little bit more of the offense come out. Nita Pink is going to have to scoop that one up there for the Warriors and take care of things here. And they're trying to clear this ball out of here, but there's always a Buckeye card to the ball, as now Stu's going to be able to find it around one, popping this one up in the air with the help of one of the Warriors. And it looks like Queed's going to have to go back for this one. Double commit on the defensive side for Ohio State. And so they're going to have to regroup here, try to clear this one out. But Bub is right there, trying to come on the aggression for the Indiana Tech Warriors as this ball falls into the corner. And we're going to just see this neutral play out here a little bit more. These teams still try to get a feel for one another.
Yeah, and I love the 50s coming out from both teams here, just making your car a nuisance. Even if you're out of boost out of the play, it's good to always keep that 50 positioning up. Stu doing that really well. And Echo Pair actually having a shot opportunity. Nita Pink also having one, but Queed's getting out of the danger zone there. OSU looking to take this possession back here.
A little bit of a defensive scramble for the Ohio State squad, but they're able to come away with that. And so far, saves have largely been on point. And there it is, folks. That's Caster Curse. That's my first one of the semester, because this is my first broadcast of the semester. Bob is going to knock one right in as things carry on.
That's a tough read there from Deson there going for boost. Probably thought it was bouncing off the corner. Didn't quite read it. Momentum again shifting back in Indiana Tech's favor here. OSU really wanted to make a play to get it back in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll see what they can pull off here. But for the time being, it's going to be Nita Pink that's going to be able to come away with this. Now, 2 minutes left to go in the game. Still plenty of time here left to play. As Queeds is going to be able to find the opening here. No one home for the Indiana Tech Warriors. A little bit of caught off guard on that rotation.
Yeah, Queez wasn't. It seemed like he wasn't even quite sure if there was anyone in defense. Went for a 50, but yeah, was able to just roll that in. Like he said, yeah, no one home. I think Indiana Tech just falling a little bit behind on that rotation. That rotation's super important, especially when OSU being so aggressive here right off the kickoff. Dasan rolling that right in at the 2-minute mark, bringing it up 3-1 for OSU.
Yeah, absolutely. Great fast thinking here and fast reactions coming out from Dasan especially. Perhaps not expecting, that to be in that kind of a position, but hey, able to capitalize on that. And now all of a sudden Ohio State up 2 with 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, that momentum, it's coming back. Indiana Tech was able to get a really nice goal early on to bring it back in their favor, but OSU keeping on that aggression, going for some awesome plays and making some really good defensive reads on Indiana Tech. And I think that's really what they're looking for here in Queens, being able to read the defense again, perfectly sinking down the top shelf there, bringing it up 3 goals for OSU.
Anytime that ball goes off the backboard, you've got to be real careful, because the second that starts coming back down, it's going to be that much harder to try to defend. And Queed's able to put that one away right in front of the net off of a double commit from the Indiana Tech Warriors. Now puts Ohio State up 3 with a little bit of time on the clock. So plenty of breathing room for right now. It's going to be a large part about trying to get this time to die off the clock.
And OSU playing it so smart there, still on defense. Ball in the danger zone, rolling right across his net, but having the wherewithal to be able to read that. And just saw an incredible car and ball control there to air drag that right into the corner around 2 defenders. Absolutely incredible control here from Dasan.
Well done, just sneaking that right around the post. Able to put that one away. And hey, maybe I was wrong, okay? Maybe Ohio State wants to make this a Brazil here. Apparently they're setting up for it right now, 5-1, with still 90 seconds to play, as Queeds is putting this one towards the net. Tries to go for the double tap, but not quite able to make the angle work. And we're trying to see if the Warriors can start to build up a little bit more of this aggression. They're trying to find one another, but they just can't seem to do so. Again, very individual-based, and Queeds is going to come from downtown to put this one away.
Yeah, and right there, OSU just being such a nuisance to Indiana Tech. Indiana Tech stay on those balls, but OSU reading them so well. Stu there passing it right to his teammate, and like I said, with those connections. Stu passing right to Dasan. Dasan hitting off that corner, and Queeds reading that perfectly. Indiana Tech had no chance on that read there.
You can tell it's about teammate trust. It's about knowing that your mate is going to be right there behind you. Able to put that one away is Queeds, but thanks to the support of the entire team getting involved for that one for the Buckeyes. That is just what you love to see. Now, 60 seconds left to go, and I have seen crazier things in Rocket League than 5 goals in 60 seconds. But it's not looking great right now if you're a Warriors fan. Just a little bit discombobulated. Just starting to see a little bit of defensive pressure here, but it doesn't look like it's going to amount to much with how far spread out some of these members of the Warriors are. I say that, and Caster Curse again. A demo comes out, and Bub is going to be able to put this one away.
Yeah, like we said at the beginning, before the match started, the volatility of OSU, right? Starting off that 1-1 scoreline hung there in our faces for a little while, and then OSU just picking up instantly and bringing a bunch of goals back to back. And then now Indiana Tech taking that momentum back. It can be a little bit scary for OSU, who kind of, they get in their mojo, they get in their flow state, but it's really easy for them to lose that again.
But hey, key thing that opened that up there was the demo. I want to see that come out yet again here for the Warriors. It seemed to work there. We'll have to see if they can try to do it again, get a little bit more of that physicality in there as well. But looks like that is going to be it for this game. They're going to have to take what they learned from that last goal and apply it to the next few games, as this one looks like it's going to end with a 6-2 scoreline in favor of the Buckeyes.
Yep. Yeah, great for showing here in this first match. And a best out of 5. So first to 3 here takes us in this week 4 match. Cool. Ball's going to drop, and OSU is going to take that, bring up the score 1-0 for the Buckeyes.
1-0 in a best of 5, which means 2 more games to go for the Buckeyes to come across with that. And overall, very good play coming out from them. I like, especially that 5th goal, or that whatever goal that was, 5th or 6th, where everybody on the team got involved.
Triple man pass, yeah, that's something I love to see from OSU. Like I said, with that flow state mojo, that volatility. A lot of times it's a little scary. It's OSU players trying to connect, and then they leave something open, and then they get counterattacked on. I see that way too often. Indiana Tech, though, missing a lot of offensive opportunities, and I think OSU, that's when we really shine, is when we're able to take advantage of that, when they're not, calling out our little holes that we leave a lot of the times. That really needs to be Indiana Tech's win condition. When they're not taking advantage of that, we just kind of pick up that steam and like a freight train, you know, we just smash it and 6-2 there. I mean, we really shone. We really shone through.
All of that we were saying about the Ohio State squad earlier about, you know, trying to prepare yourself for how the game is actually going to play out now applies to the Warriors squad as well, right? Applies to any team that comes into play Rocket League. It even applies to you as you queue up for your solo queue matches. You know, you've just got to be ready to play. And it doesn't look like a lot of these players are firing on all cylinders, finding each other, making sure they're all on the same page in order to pull this through. So for now, we're going to hop on into this one. Ohio State up 1-0 on the game score. So we have another 5 minutes of gameplay scheduled.
Yeah, and here in this game too, I would love to see OSU not get too ahead of themselves, not try to do more than they need to, and Nita Pink actually having a shot opportunity there, but not quite being able to see it in. Dassan's going to take over possession here, get it back into Indiana Tech's half, and OSU's going to look to take over possession. Stu not being able to get around the defender here, Indiana Tech taking over control a little bit, and Bub having a shot opportunity, not quite going to be able to get it in. Dassan there blocking it.
Going to be able to block that one, and so perhaps we'll see if the Warriors can start to pull away here, but that ball is going to fall into Ohio State control. Bub trying to get this one out. Nita Pink is not going to be able to get it around that Ohio State defender, but this ball is going to get long cleared back to the other side of the pitch. Stu trying to scoop this one away and is going to be able to get it over one, and now rolling right into the wall. So seeing a little bit more of this neutral style gameplay, very reminiscent of how we started, or indeed even spent the majority of that game one.
Yeah, definitely. And OSU, I said, you know, not getting ahead of themselves right there. I really do think they were getting out of rotation. I think Indiana Tech was able to take advantage of that double commit there. I mean, from Queeds, not being able to get it anywhere. Echo Pair reading that really well. OSU team, I can't see the boost stats, but I'm sure they were all really low on boost because I saw a lot of them rotating back kind of as a team, and, you know, those boost timers being on 10 seconds. They can't, you know, share all of it. So I think OSU got a little bit ahead of themselves, like I said. And then Indiana Tech was just able to capitalize on that, bring it up 1-0 for them in a minute.
The second that you start to make your opponent feel a little bit more nervous, right? The second that they start to not trust the fact that their teammate is going to be there, that's where you see these double commits come out. And at this level of play, that is critical. You want to try to avoid that as minimally as possible. But all the meanwhile, Bob is going to be able to score one here. Long ball coming in for the Warriors, and it's just going to find the corner of the net.
Yeah, I honestly, I think I definitely called it. Not saying I'm looking in my crystal orb, but I really think the name of the game now with OSU is that they're getting ahead of themselves. Like I said, they were overcommitting there, messing up that rotation a little bit. They definitely need to get this under control if they're going to bring it back in this game too.
Definitely going to need to do that, but we'll have to see if they can start getting involved here on the offensive side. Stu over to Queez, but Bub is going to be there in order to send that one away. Dassan trying to challenge here as well, dig this ball out of the corner and into another hood of an Ohio State car, but it's not going to happen this time, as now we start to see a little bit of shadow defense. Stu is going to come out and try to challenge, just going to be able to clear that one up over top of the crossbar. Still 2 goals to make up here as the Warriors are continuing to just kind of stall for a little bit more, playing this little bit of a mid-game as well as they just try to meet the Ohio State squad challenge for challenge.
Yeah, all these players need to focus right now. I'm definitely seeing a lot of challenges just for the sake of, you know, going for the ball. OSU will be able to get that out of there actually with a team pinch. But a lot of players just kind of going for balls, not really thinking where they're going to hit it, which is kind of a problem, you know, when you have these teams that are as fast as Indiana Tech and OSU. They're going to get to these balls as quick as, you know, they can read it. And if you're not thinking about where you're hitting it, then it's going to get intercepted and you're going to get counterattacked on, like we've seen OSU get counterattacked on so often. Dassan having a shot opportunity here, but missing it wide. He's going to try to keep that in the middle here for OSU.
So close. And that's the other thing here. When you start to see those double commits on offense, they might work. And indeed, they almost did. But you have one less opportunity to follow that ball up the second time around. Stu was going to try to slam that one in, but it's going to get blocked by Bub. The dunk is denied this time around. And now we're within 2 minutes to play here. Still doable for the Ohio State squad, but they are starting to run out of time a little bit. And you might start to see them get a little bit anxious as a result.
Yeah, definitely. And when OSU gets their back pushed against the wall, they just start going for those aggressive plays. And, I mean, they put, like, 3 shots on net in about 15 seconds there, but they just weren't able to sink it. That's something that, you know, when they finally get that connection and get this momentum back, that's where they're really going to shine. So that's all OSU needs is that one goal, and then everything else will fall into place.
Yeah, absolutely. But they've got to get that soon, and they have to not let other ones in. Nita Pink is going to be able to score one here on a little bit of a burner from the other side of the pitch. And the Warriors right now capitalizing very hard on how much Ohio State is committing to this aggressive play style.
Yeah, these counterattacks coming out really well. Nita Pink reading that unfavorable pinch for OSU. Off that corner, just smart play. Indiana Tech definitely composing themselves a little bit more. They're playing more calm. OSU's kind of getting on the edge of their seats, going for a lot of stuff. Queed's definitely trying to kind of take over these solo plays, but not really being able to get around it because Indiana Tech's playing so tight together. They're able to really get out any opportunities that OSU's trying to put together.
Now Dasan trying to take this one himself. Going to be able to find the backboard here, but not going to be able to put the ball in a favorable position for the Ohio State teammate that was following that one up. And now 40 seconds remaining, 3 goals to score. The ball goes over to Dasan, who tries to find Stu, but it's going to get challenged by Nita Pink. And now this ball is going to fall to the orange corner, where Bub might be able to put a play on this one. Over 1 for the Ohio State squad off the backboard. And Echo Pair is going to be there to almost certainly put the dagger in this game.
Yep, Echo Pair reading that the OSU defender was going for a squishy save. Just waited a bit. Sink it right in the middle. Yeah, Queed's going for a little bit of a quick thinking with that squishy save, but not going to be what he needed there on defense. Now bringing Indiana Tech up 4-0 in the second game.
It's that anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Queed's just trying to get something done. They've got to score a goal. They're running out of time. You really got to try to put that one back the other way, but unfortunately it's just not going to work out this time, and now time is going to expire. This is the interesting thing about Rocket League, Dawson, that I think we should talk a little bit more about. The first game was 6-2 for Ohio State. The second game is 4-0 for Indiana Tech. In a game like Rocket League, why is that even possible? Like, shouldn't one team just win all the time?
Yeah, the great point there. Definitely in Rocket League, a lot of times, you know, from one game to the next, it's really not the same team playing, right? If you queue up with your friends in threes and then you queue up against the same team, you know, twice in a row, you kind of have this mentality. You've adjusted to a lot of stuff they're doing, and say you won, you know, like up by 4 like OSU did, you kind of have this mental change, you know, this switch being flipped where you're like, okay, we took this by 4, we can start to, you know, take advantage of a lot of stuff. But what you don't realize is that the other team's doing the exact same thing that you're doing. And then once you start, you know, like OSU was playing really offensively, and then now they were going for a lot of 50s, going for solo plays, a lot of their passes were a lot slower. That's where they're like, okay, we're trying to adjust to something that has already been fixed by Indiana Tech, right? They've already cleaned up their holes. They already know how OSU is going to play, so they fixed that. And then you already adjusted to the team that was playing last game, but it's a whole different team you're playing right now.
Right. It's like they could just as easily go for a little bit more of those offensive plays, go for a little bit more of those flashy things because they were able to take game 1 so confidently. But the second that Indiana Tech has started tightening things up, that's when they switch the goals in the other direction. And that's when they start capitalizing on your mistakes. I mean, a lot of those goals were goals from the other side of the pitch where they were just long shots, lob balls into the other side's net. So we'll have to see if Ohio State can regroup and readapt for this next game. They've got to tighten up this play just a little bit more if they want to come away with the series.
Yeah, it's really just rock, paper, scissors a lot of time. With Rocket League, is you have that one solution that kind of counters the other team, but a lot of times it's hard to really read what exactly they're going for. So you just kind of have to throw something out and hope it sticks. If it doesn't, you have to move on to the next thing. So I want to see OSU move on to the next thing here.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see what that next thing actually does end up being. Probably going to try to keep the ball a little bit slower, try to control things a little bit more instead of just trying to fire shots left and right, which is what they've been trying to do so far. But so far, they're keeping up the offensive pressure just by challenging these balls, meeting the Indiana Tech cards hood for hood. But it's not going to happen this time around. Still trying to pick up that pressure, but the ball's going to start falling to the orange side.
Yeah, OSU always shining brightest when they have the ball on the hood of their car, able to control that. And when the 50s are in their favor, OSU's able to take control really well. But right now, at the beginning of this game, 50s are not in our favor. And Indiana Tech's getting all the offensive pressure in the world here. Not looking great for the start of this match. 1 minute in already, and Indiana Tech's basically had the ball the entire time.
Well, I mean, there was that stint at the beginning for the Buckeyes.
Yeah,
we'll give them a little bit of credit. But certainly, you know, haven't been able to fire everything together. Now Queed's trying to find Dasan off the backboard. And Queeds is going to try to follow this one up again, but a little bit of an awkward angle to really put that one away. Stu now trying to find somebody, but the other 2 Ohio State defenders are already heading back to the other side of the pitch. Dasan, nice challenge there, able to take that one around and away from Need a Pink to make sure this ball stays fine. Very nice pass over to Dasan off of the wall. Trying to see what he can do here. Able to find this miss. Now trying to find the crossbar, but it's not going to go in this time around. Now Ohio State's got to go back to the drawing board here.
Yeah, really great try there from Dasan, actually. I love how these players are using their camera here to look around. That's something Queed's actually whiffing that a little bit, but the flick goes high, and then Bub's able to sink it in there with no defender in the net. I was going to say, this camera movement, players being able to see where they are. Need a Pink here using this shadow. Really great. Queed's, debating when to challenge, but Need a Pair reading him perfectly, being able to sink that up across the backboard, right for his teammate. Great play there from Indiana Tech.
Yeah, absolutely a great one there. Now we'll have to see if there's an answer for the Ohio State squad. Dasan puts one towards the net, but Echo Pair is going to be able to block that one away almost immediately. And starting to see this Indiana squad really come true to themselves so far in this match. You're going to really start to see the cylinders firing here as they start finding connections with one another and trusting one another.
And trusting one another, they did here. Need a Pink reading the pinch there from Bub, being able to see that no OSU players were going to challenge him, taking the opportunity and sinking that into the net with no defenders.
So OSU squad's got to start giving Indiana Tech a little bit more respect. Dawson,
yeah.
They are resting on their laurels right now after that Game 1 performance, and now really have to be careful here. Stu going to come up with 2 saves back-to-back as they try to get this ball to the blue side of the pitch, but it's not going to quite happen yet. No, Dasan trying to find Stu. Stu's going to send a quick one towards the net, going to go over the car of Queeds. Now Dasan back over to Stu. There's the crossbar. Dasan can't quite reach the ball that time around. They just haven't been able to find their cars in the quite right positions in order to put this ball away.
It's really strange to watch, honestly, because you see a lot of passes like that. The passes were so beautiful, and I'm so ready for OSU to take that shot and being able to sink it like they have in the past, but then they just whiff it so far, and it's like what's different now? Where's your mental game? You have to get that back. They're down 2, and they've lost kind of all this communication that they used to have in that Game 1. And it's something I really want to see. They're communicating with these passes, and they're just not able to sink it. And that's really where it comes down, is that finishing touch.
It's that momentum game. I'm telling you, right? Last game, you saw Indiana Tech 4-0 in that last game. Ohio State was, whoa, wait a minute. We've got to regroup. We've got to figure this one out. And they're feeling less confident in this game, too. You can see it in their play as well. And then that's going to translate right on over to this Game 3. 60 seconds left to go. Ohio State still down 2. They've got to be able to find a way in order to make everything click and put this ball in the back of the net. Stu not quite going to have enough boost in order to make a play on this ball. And now it's going to keep heading back to the Ohio State net, as this one's going to go high off the corner. Need a Pink, trying to come up, but it's not going to be able to put that one away. But you see how Indiana Tech is playing. They're playing very spread out. They're playing slow. They're able to adapt. They're able to scoop that one away, make sure runaway goals don't happen.
Yeah, and as Indiana Tech here, you're up to 30 seconds left. You just want to play as defensively as possible, and Queez be able to get that around the defender there off the backboard. Queez having these incredible backboard reads all series. Honestly, yeah, great touch there. Bub not being ready for that.
Well done by Queez, putting Ohio State within 1 with 29 seconds left to play. That is not a lot of time, but it might be a little bit more if they keep the ball up after that clock hits 0. We'll just have to see how this one continues to play out. Bub going to try to send this one off the wall. Echo Pair is going to try to scoop this one up. Stu trying to challenge here, and you start to see the Ohio State squad trying to find an opening, trying to find something, but not able to for the time being. Queez out of boost is going to get intercepted by Bub here, as now Stu has to play reverse to try to get this one back the other direction, but Bub is going to be right there in front of the net, and the Warriors are going to go up 2 with 7 seconds to play.
That's the worst thing you want to see, 1 goal down with 30 seconds left. Queez using all his boost going for a double tap. That's never going to work. Even if you would have touched that, it really wouldn't have gotten much, leaving Stu on defense with also basically no boost, and then he just hits it right in front of the net with, no power to be able to get there. And just, it's, when this momentum is out of our favor, ball's going to probably try to touch the ground here. Indiana Tech's going to take this.
Yeah.
Game's over. Indiana Tech's going to come up 2-1. And, the players might disagree with me on this, but I see it time and time again with honestly every single OSU roster. When the momentum's not in their favor, they're a completely different team. they start to turn their brains off. They start to just kind of get egos. I wouldn't say egos, but they try to do solo plays, and then it just never pans out, and stuff starts to crumble until they finally get that momentum back, which is where that volatility, that's the word I always use. I think that's probably the one that best describes OSU. But then once they get that momentum back, it's like magic. You know, they're all in each other's brains, perfectly communicating, getting these passes. But then when they don't have that, like we see in these past 2 games, it just all falls apart.
I mean, it's exactly what you were saying there with Queez trying to go for that double tap that probably wouldn't have put a lot on that ball. But by the same token, he's just trying to get something done. He feels that the time is quickly running out. You start to see that increase in anxiety. You start to see these players get even more nervous as they continue watching that clock go down, and it just doesn't end well. So we'll have to see if they can regain their confidence here. Indiana Tech now on match point. We'll have to see if they can come through with this one in this Game 4, or if Ohio State will force the Game 5.
Yeah, and Rocket League is not a game that is played well when you're desperate. Rocket League is a game that's played well when you're communicating with your teammates. You have trust that you can pull it through, and that's what I want to see from OSU here. I want to see trust in their teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really going to have to refine that trust that they found in Game 1, but then quickly lost after Indiana Tech was able to bounce back with that 4-0 victory. Now it's Game 4. We'll have to see if the scores are even, if they can take that mental reset, and if they can start putting something together here. Demo here leaves the net open, but Bubba's going to be just able to get that back, challenge the ball, and buy a little bit more time for the Warriors. Very critical their play for Indiana Tech, because you start to see Ohio State continuing to try to keep this one up, and indeed Dasan trying to challenge for this one again with no boost is going to make it very difficult. Now has to rotate back. Queens in the corner trying to find Stu, is able to find one, and that's going to hit the side of the net. Stu going to be able to put up one up for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, and I love this aggression here from OSU again. Queeds dropping that right down to Stu, and Stu having actually an incredible shot. That shot's way harder than it probably looks like. And, I mean, Indiana Tech really having a really tight rotation there. But, I mean, honestly, it didn't really matter for OSU. They were just able to play with that communication, that trust, right? They're going to get it to their teammate and actually putting those shots on net. That's something I'd almost scream there if the song would have hit that. That was a tight angle. But, yeah, when OSU trusts each other and actually puts those shots on net, you see something magical happen. But then when they're not, those counterattacks come out way too strong and they fall down.
Almost as magical as like there was something that was actually changed. Like the little, if you imagine that there was actually a little driver in there. I don't know technically if there are drivers in there, but it's almost like that driver like kicked open the door. It's like there, in ball, going to the net. That's almost what we saw in that last one, but nonetheless, able to put that one away and able to come up with this one here. But now it's going to be Indiana Tech off the backboard. That's Bob is able to sneak it between two to tie this game up.
These misreads from OSU here are really their downfall right here. Stu's been missing a lot this series. Something that definitely just need to go into replay or into free play, be able to read those, because those backboard touches, those are really the backbone to any threes play, because you have to get there. Like we've seen a lot of OSU's goals have been off of those backboards, and Indiana Tech's been able to read them. It's just we're so fast on them. But then for some reason on defense, we're kind of iffy, and you know, the thing that we're able to capitalize on, we're not able to defend against.
I mean, it's much easier when that ball's coming at you. You
Yeah.
know where it is, as opposed to when that ball's trying to go right over your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that much more difficult to try to defend. And hey, I mean, boot up the game and try it for yourself, folks. Playing this game isn't easy. So certainly these players have put in the hours, but perhaps they'll need to go back and put in a little bit more. Got to keep up those skills for the remainder of the season. This very lengthy, might I add, varsity season for NACE Starleague. But nonetheless, we're halfway through this game right now. 1 goal apiece for both these squads. Ohio State has to win this game in order to stay alive, and they're starting to come alive just a little bit more compared to the last 2 games. We'll have to see if they can try to keep this up.
Yeah, OSU's eyes are definitely glistening right now. They see their win condition in hand. Stu not having any boost there, wanting to communicate to his team there. OSU having a lot of really great 50s. That ball almost sneaking in, not quite off the post. Yeah, OSU just want to keep the pressure on here. Doing a great job at it. Dasan almost getting that around the defender.
Now Queez trying to send that one into the middle, but is not quite going to be able to find another orange car. Echo pair almost able to find the touch, but Bub is up for it. And once again puts it away. Bub is always in the right place at the right time, able to read this one and clean up for the Indiana Tech Warriors, putting them ahead in Game 4.
Yeah, honestly, Echo pair having a really great read off of Stu there on the backboard. Queets pushed up, didn't really read what was going on. A lot of times those 50s, they just come out at really inopportune times. Honestly, not much you could do about that from OSU side. You get dunked on, you get dunked on. It happens. So it's really just important to keep your mental game strong. Only down 1 goal here. You have 2 minutes. Definitely stay calm and collected. Don't become the same OSU team we saw in those past 2 games.
Say that, but I'm starting to get nervous, and I'm not even behind a controller. They've got 90 seconds to find at least 1 goal, ideally 2, in order to stay alive in this series. Really don't want to be dropping unnecessary games. This Echo pair puts one towards the net, keeps OSU humble, as now they're trying to go on the offensive. Desan trying to send one towards the net. That one's going to get sent to the corner by Echo pair. Now Queeds trying to scoop something up here. That ball's going to fly just a little bit further away, and now a double commit for the Ohio State side. It's going to be an easy pickup for Bub, but Desan going to be able to take it off the wall. Queeds trying to go back, trying to find a little bit of a demolition here, but is not able to do just that, as now Ohio State has to regroup. 60 seconds left to play for these 2 squads, as Ohio State still has to try to find one on the board.
Yeah, a little bit of lack of communication there from Stu hitting it mid, none of his players being there. This boost control from OSU is looking really nice. They seem to keep it on. 50 seconds, if you can just keep this pressure on, just keep putting shots on net, that's really all that matters. And eventually you'll score like Queeds does there. 40 seconds left, and it's tied up 2-2 here in our game 4.
Very nice challenge there by Desan as well, making the challenge of the ball come out that much quicker for the Warriors. That one just going to get sent back, and Queeds is able to scoop it up. Right place, right time. So often what this game of Carball is about. Now 40 seconds, these 2 teams are tied. Indiana Tech really wants to find a way to put this one away here, and indeed, Bub, high off the ceiling, almost does. But alas, that one's going to get saved away by the Buckeye defender. 30 seconds now remain for one of these 2 squads to come out on top here. This ball going to start dying in the corner. Need a pink now, taking this on the hood, gets it past 1. But Hassan is there, and Queeds was coming around the other way as well. So perhaps a little bit of a scramble we're about to see on the defensive side. Stu and Queeds very close to one another, trying to find something else here for the Ohio State squad. They don't want to send this into overtime if they have to, because there's where their nerves really start to get going. But
we have a history with
Hassan
overtimes.
try to take care of this here. Queeds up in the air, but didn't have enough boost. And now this ball is going to hit the ground. We're in overtime in game 4 for the match.
Yeah, OSU historically, we've had a little bit of a rough time with overtime, but we do have the momentum coming into this. We scored the last goal here to tie it up, but Indiana Tech actually having aggression off here in Nina Pink. 10 seconds into that overtime is going to close out the series, coming in with the quick GGs. Like I've said, I mean, it was that kickoff. It was honestly the kickoff. It's a little rough there. A lot of times there's some statistics out there saying, if you win the kickoff 70% of the time, you're the one that's going to score the goal. It's just a matter of Rocket League. Like I've said a couple times throughout this, it's whoever has that aggression, whoever's putting those shots on net, eventually is going to go in. And that's why, graphics are really nice for who's having that boost control, who's having ball possession most of the time. Because those are really nice, to keep track of. And I'm sure if we would have saw something like that, stats like that, we would have seen that Indiana Tech really did, and that's something I noticed a lot, was that Indiana Tech was able to play it smart, and OSU is really good at keeping the ball on their car and having 50s, but Indiana Tech played those 50s so smart to where it's always going to their teammates, and so I think that's really what did OSU in this set.
Yeah, and absolutely. We've talked much of the series about how much of a momentum game that is, and I just would add a quick comment. It's really hard to find that momentum right off of a kickoff.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about how that momentum plays into the play, and overall, it's really difficult to find your rotations right off the kickoff, especially with how these players are starting to react to the ball. You have no idea what the wide variety of angles that ball could go off on, and so of course that adds yet another layer of complexity here. So Ohio State going to fall to the Indiana Tech Warriors through 4 games, and that's going to do it, unfortunately, for the broadcast here tonight. Of course, we expect the Ohio State squad to be right back here next week, next Monday, assuming no reschedules. There might be a reschedule.
There might be.
We don't know.
It could be.
But be sure to follow the Twitch channel and turn on notifications so you get notified when that match goes live. And in the meantime, they've got to get seated here pretty soon. In 2 weeks, they're going against that team up north in this very league.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure building on now, 2-2 in this league. A lot of stuff. I mean, players definitely want to do some VOD reviews for this. There's just very glaring errors I'm seeing a lot of their play. There's a lot of really great things I'm seeing, but there's so much, I'm going to say it again, volatility. rotations and positioning, those are the two biggest things I see, and those are what I want to send over to our players. Keep those words in your mind. Run it over again like you're studying for a final.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's all in your head. That's the largest thing about Rocket League. We talk so much about it because it is critical. It's about how much you're actually able to put forward for the game. But folks, that's going to do it from us here tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us for this broadcast on this Monday night. My name is Kenneth. I've been joined by Dawson this evening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Again, be sure to follow us here on Twitch at Ohio State Esports and follow us on Twitter for more updates where you can see some match results, some upcoming events, and more Ohio State Esports news. That is on Twitter at Ohio ST Esports. We'll see you all next time, folks. Until then, take care, study hard, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.